Hello YouTube, Wes here checking in with my Vinyl Tag 2021. I want to thank all my subscribers out there watching this video, and if you're new here, please think about subscribing, joining the channel. I talk a lot about records here, but that's not the only thing I talk about. I talk about movies, anything else that interests me. It's mostly about records, and that's what this show is all about, is the Vinyl Tag 2021. Been doing these for the past couple of years. Took me a while to get into the habit of doing them, and I've enjoyed making these videos, and I've enjoyed watching other people. It's a great way to not only discover new channels out there in the vinyl community, learn, find new people, but it's also a great way to introduce yourself to the vinyl community. So if you've been watching videos all along, you've been thinking about making a channel yourself, go ahead and do it. This is a great way to start a channel. Is start off with a Vinyl Tag video. It'll get your name out there. It'll get people finding you and finding your channel. Getting people to know you and know who you are. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is a sort of a dual episode, since in December I only picked up 4 new albums in the whole month of December. Didn't find too much, so I thought I would go ahead and roll my December finds into this video, since one of the questions actually in the Vinyl Tag this year is about your most recent purchase, and that's going to be something from December, so that's going to fit in there as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first couple things I have here from December are a couple of thrift store finds. First one I have here is a SupraWes release. This is New Orleans Jazz, The Flowering. So you get Punch Miller, Emil Barnes, and Peter Bocage, the Eureka Brass Band with George Lewis, Kid Clayton's Band with Albert Brubank, and Tony Parenti. So none of these names I know, but it's going to be some early New Orleans jazz kind of stuff, so it should be interesting. I always pick up SupraWes releases when I find them in thrift stores because they're always interesting, and I do enjoy collecting this kind of stuff. So that was my first pickup from December. Second one was kind of a blind buy. I saw this, and what the hell is this? This is Beastie and the Fairlanes with their third album, Mongoose Island, from 1983. I'll go ahead and read you the description from Discogs here. Beastie and the Fairlanes is a world beat, Latin pop, jazz, and salsa band from Austin, Texas. So they're kind of all over the place. Really cool, supposedly a really good Austin band. I haven't yet had the chance to dive into this one and give it a try, but as I said, it caught my eye. I thought I've got to pick this up just to see what it is. You know, thrift store finds, it's always fun to do blind buys. I guess this is kind of a promotional copy as well. Got a little note from the record label here, and then a little bit of some sort of just a bunch of reviews. So promotional copy, I'm guessing, was the purpose for this particular copy here. There's the vinyl itself. As I said, still needs to be cleaned. I have not cleaned it up yet, so give that a spin at some point. Check it out. And then my last thrift store pickup from December is this album by The Weavers titled Travelin' On. And I do already have another copy of this, but you know, it's really clean. This one's really clean, so I figured, well, it's potentially an upgrade, and if not, I'll figure out what to do with it. Vanguard label there. This one, again, it needs to be cleaned up. And then the last pickup I have for December, this was recently featured in my most recent vinyl discovery video, and that is the reissue of Blows Against the Empire by Paul Kantner. That was a nice pickup. It was Black Friday Record Store Day reissue. Pick this up on eBay. Quickly go over this in case any of you didn't see the video. Really cool green marbled vinyl on this reissue. Yeah, so if you want to see this in more detail, check out that episode of the Vinyl Discovery Show where I compare this to an early release of the album. I will say here, I have now, you know, I said in that video it wasn't about the music. I have had a chance to spin this several times now and do an A/B comparison between my original copy and this. This one, it's unfortunately it's kind of a letdown sound-wise. Pressing itself is quiet, but the mastering, it has a lot of audio compression to it. It's very compressed. It just doesn't have the dynamics that my original copy has. So yeah, it's a little bit of a letdown in that respect. It's nice to have a nice clean artwork sort of copy of this, but I'm not going to be getting rid of my original because I think I would prefer to listen to the original that I have, and hopefully maybe one day I can upgrade that original to a nicer original copy. But yeah, this is a cool package, cool piece of vinyl, but doesn't sound as good as my original, unfortunately. This is one of those letdowns of a reissue, sound-wise. Okay, so moving on, let's go ahead and get into this Vinyl Tag 2021. So question number 1, a discovery in 2020, and I chose to answer that with this artist, Kelly Finnegan, and his group, the Monophonics, a neo-soul group, awesome group on the Coal Mine label. Yeah, this was my favorite discovery of 2020. Just diving into this, heard this a track from this album in the background of one of Steve Carlson's videos. He was shopping in a record store and they had this on, and I was like, what the hell is that? So I did a Shazam on it, and turns out Kelly Finnegan. So I was really happy to find this, discover this. I love neo soul stuff. So yeah, this was definitely a great discovery for me for 2020. Question number 2, a Quarantine by. This was definitely another new discovery for me, kind of a punk meets synth pop kind of band, kind of blurring lines there. That is the group Moaning. Yeah, definitely got into listening to different things when I was stuck in quarantine, and this was one of them. I discovered them through a What's in My Bag video and or series. I think they did 2 different What's in My Bags videos. 2 different members of the group did that. So yeah, really cool group, and was a quarantine buy for me. I immediately checked out their music and ordered this record after I watched those videos. Okay, so question number 3, an album you want to find in 2021, and that is this album. And that is the 1960 version of A Night in Tunisia. There's kind of a story that goes along with this. Many years ago, I was out digging at my local record store, and I was digging through the jazz section, and I found this. A Night in Tunisia. I was like, oh, cool, Night in Tunisia. Yeah, I should definitely pick that up. So I grabbed it, took it home, spun it, enjoyed it. What I didn't realize is that this is actually the original recording of A Night in Tunisia from 1957, released in 1958. But the sort of the definitive version, the one that everybody wants to have, is the 1960 version. That's the version that we heard at the Florida Audio Expo back in February of 2020. And I really want to find a copy of that, whether it be it's probably going to be a reissue that I find, but even then, those are pricey, hard to find. So yeah, I want to find the 1960 version of A Night in Tunisia. So yeah, I have this one. Didn't know I was not getting the right one, but it's still a good album, good recording, and I definitely enjoy listening to this. But I'll enjoy the other one as well. Okay, question number 4, a box set. I don't have a lot of box sets. I didn't know exactly what to share with this one. I just decided to pull one that I've had for a while now, and that is Jimi Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix West Coast Seattle Boy box set. Really cool 8-album box set here. Tons and tons of material on this one. Definitely glad I bought this when I did. It was a lot of money to buy. I'm glad I have this in the collection. Really nice compilation of stuff of Jimi Hendrix's, all the way from the early days when he's playing with the Isley Brothers and stuff. So yeah, really good stuff. And I was really glad to pick this one up. Still would like to have that first box set they did, the purple one that had the velvet cover, I think. I'd love to have that one, but missed out on getting the chance to get that one at a decent price, I think, but maybe one day I'll find it. Okay, question number 5, a concept album. I always struggle with this because it's some things that I think are concept albums and people argue with me and tell me they're not. I looked up a list of concept albums and pulled something off of that list that I own, that I love, and that is the Antlers Hospice 2009. Just an incredible heart-wrenching album. It's a love story of a hospice caretaker who falls in love with their patient. It's heart-wrenching, but it's beautiful, and it's an excellent concept album. Okay, question number 6, an album where an artist or band changed directions. Y'all remember when MC Hammer went hardcore? Okay, no, that's not, no, we're not talking about MC Hammer. How about Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique? Of course, their debut hip-hop album, License to Ill, was kind of a joke, kind of a gag, but when they came out with this, they meant business. They were dead serious. Awesome album. A great sort of follow-up. You know, they decided not to continue on with the sort of more comedic side of things. Got serious, made a killer album, and made many more killer albums after this. So Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique, changed directions for the band and changed directions for the better, and made the Beastie Boys a legendary group. Question number 7, we have a white label promo. So here is a regular version of the Dangerous Minds soundtrack, and this is a white label promo version of the soundtrack. So it's a white label MCA. It's the same soundtrack, no cover art, just the soundtrack itself, and that is a white label promo. Question number 8, a compilation album. Thought about this one for a while. I don't own too many comps, but wanted to pull something interesting that I hadn't shown in a while. So I decided to go with Public Enemy's Greatest Misses. Neat compilation album of theirs. You got some remixes, you got some sort of B-sides on here, and one live cut. Yeah, really cool. This is an original pressing of it, which is nice. I think this has been reissued recently, but that's an original copy. It's pretty cool. Okay, question number 9, an album that tells a story. As other people have mentioned, this can be kind of similar to a concept album, but a concept album is not necessarily an album that tells a story. But this one does tell a story. This is the next to most recent album by the Flaming Lips, King's Mouth. So this tells a story of a king who's a giant who saves his town, or saves his people, and dies in the process. So they take his head and cut it off and turn it into this kind of monument to him. Kind of a neat story, narrated by Mick Jones, I think. Mick Jones does the narration on the story, and this album definitely tells that story. It's kind of a fantasy, kind of cool story. I'd love to see a video version of this. I think it would be interesting. So that is an album that tells a story. Flaming Lips, King's Mouth from 2019. Question number 10, an album that needs a vinyl pressing. Ice-T's Original Gangster. Yeah, this has only been issued as a promo. Never had an actual vinyl release from what I can tell. Needs a vinyl release. They've reissued albums, Ice-T albums on Record Store Day, and it's been ones that are easier to find. And this just, somebody needs to freaking press this album on vinyl. It's an excellent Ice-T album, and I'd love to have it on vinyl. So somebody out there, please make this happen. Question number 11, a common album and an uncommon album. So here we have Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass, Whipped Cream and Other Delights. That's a common album. This is an uncommon album. Pat Cooper, Spaghetti Sauce and Other Delights. Question number 12, an EP. I pulled this one out, haven't shown this one in a while. Mogwai's Music Industry 3, Fitness Industry 1 EP. Nice little EP from Mogwai. Question number 13, a girl group. This one popped into my head. How about Bananarama? That's a girl group. Question number 14, an album cover you love. And I searched and searched and searched, and I love so many album covers. There's been so many times I've bought albums just based on the cover. A lot of times when I'm just browsing on Spotify or whatever, I'll click on stuff based on the album cover, so I'm definitely a sucker for a good album cover. This one I stumbled across when I was browsing through my collection, and yeah, Broken Bells, After the Disco. I love that album cover. I love the colors. I love how it's designed. I just love the feel of it. It fits the music well. Yeah, this is excellent, excellent album cover. And the album, the artwork on the back is really nice. And even though the gatefold is lyrics, it also sort of continues on with the theme there as well. So yeah, Broken Bells, After the Disco, a favorite album cover of mine. Question number 15, an album you've listened to the most, and I took this to mean in 2020, and that is, I believe this is, there's been a couple that I've listened to a lot, but Glass Animals with Dreamland, I listened to this a ton in 2020. It's excellent, excellent album, and yeah, listened to it a ton. So that's my answer for album listened to the most. Question number 16, an album you had to get an OG of, and I don't ever say I've got to have an OG of anything. I kind of let whatever I feel is best come to me, whether that be an OG or not. But this is an album I saw that is an OG that when I saw it, I said, I've got to have that. So it kind of fits the question there. That is a still in shrink copy of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here. And it's a promotional one as well. Definitely one, when I saw it, I said, I've got to have that. It was not cheap, but I had to have it, and it's an OG. So it fits the question. Question number 17. I think I improperly said this was question 18 at the beginning of the show, but yeah, we showed this at the beginning of the show. The most recent album you purchased, and the most recent album I purchased on vinyl is Blows Against the Empire, Paul Kantner. Question number 18, an album they don't get. And I struggled with this one because, I mean, some people get albums, particular albums, and some people don't. I mean, they're not every album is for everyone, and not any album is for anyone, really. I mean, it's made by a particular person. They appreciated it. Some people will appreciate it, some people won't. So I decided just to pull out an instrumental album, since a lot of people seem to have trouble with instrumental albums. So I pulled out Explosions in the Sky album, their album The Wilderness. Yeah, kind of sort of a cool post-rock instrumental kind of group. Really enjoy this group. So that is an album that maybe some people don't get. And just to be fair, here's an album that I don't get that a lot of people love. Question number 19, a punk album or the closest thing you have to it. I don't have a lot of punk into the collection. I have some industrial type stuff that kind of fits into the punk genre. I have like The Clash and basic stuff like that. That's pretty common. But I do have several albums from this group, Mind Spiders, and they're listed as more of a melodic punk kind of group, but yeah, I definitely like them. Kind of a synthy punk group that I really like out of Texas. So yeah, this is Mind Spiders. So that qualifies as punk in my book. Okay, and we're on to the final question. Question number 20, favorite reissue of 2020. And I did not buy very many reissues, and I was looking back through what I bought in the last year, what I did buy that was actually reissued in 2020. Not very many titles, so I had a little bit of trouble with this. But I decided to go with Joy Division's Closer. This is the 2020 reissue on clear vinyl. There you go. Sounds great. And a really nice pressing, really nice looking reissue. So that is my favorite reissue of 2020. So that's going to do it for this vinyl inbox for December and my vinyl tag 2021. Thank you all for watching. As I said, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you haven't made a video yourself before, this is a great way to do it. Give it a try. Find a quiet spot with some good light and set up your phone or whatever you have to make videos with and make a video. Show us what you got. Answer these questions. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, great night. Remember, there is no bad music, only music you don't like, and we'll see you again real soon. Cheers.